Hi folks, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. What you see in the vise is quite a controversial fly. It's an Okey Dokey. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise then is a Hanak H310 barbless hook at size 8. This is a buzzer hook. It's on a heavy wire and it's finished in black nickel. The thread I'm going to be using today is UTC. It's 140, quite a thick thread to start with. And before we do any of that though, we're going to add some weight to this fly. So I'm going to be using some adhesive lead foil and I'm going to have to prepare that. So it comes in this big sheet, and what I want to do is, using some really old scissors, is just cut off a slither between 2 and 3 millimeters is all that's required. And please do ensure that you use old scissors, because these will blunt your good scissors faster than a speeding bullet. So it has a backing which usually comes off a lot easier than this. Once you've removed the backing from the lead foil, you can dress it up to your hook, and I want to catch it in initially just on the bend there. I'm going to use my nail to keep that bit in place. Now you can put some pressure on this, but not too much. It'll just snap away. And then bring your lead foil up, nice touch and turn wraps, and then before I get to the eye of the hook, I'm going to just come in with my fingernail there and finish that off. Now I'm not going to throw away this bit. I'm going to come in a little further up the body just to help get me the shape I want for this pattern. Helps with the bulk, and that's why I'm using the thicker sort of UTC thread. Once that's in place, you can grab your thread, and the first thing I'm going to do is get a little bit of wax onto the UTC thread and then catch in at the eye. I'm going to use open turns initially, just to get that started and get the lead adhesive foil secured onto that shank of that hook. Now, controversial, over the years I've heard various urban myths about the Okey Dokey. So it's so effective that some fisheries have actually banned it, which I find hard to believe. Some people say it's a maggot imitation and isn't really fly fishing. Others believe that it's an imitation of a Docken Grub and is just a legitimate fly like any other. The jury's out. I've got to say, when the fad was all the rage 10 years ago, I did try them. But I've got to be honest, I didn't have a great deal of success with them, so it's a kind of forgotten fly as far as I'm concerned, but some people still rave about it. So next I'm going to add in a length of wire, the wire rib, and I'm going to be using 0.2 millimeters if I can find the end. So I'm going to dress that up just on my side, slightly on my side, not quite up to the eye, but having it quite far up is going to help with getting that bulk on. Now at this point, there's quite a lot of work to be done with thread wraps. So to save you listening to me droning on, I'm going to speed the video up. And we're back in business. So guys, if you've watched more than 1 or 2 of my videos and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate you clicking that little button for me. It does help YouTube recognise that the content I'm creating is being appreciated, and it helps the channel grow, and I would appreciate your support. So at this point, I've got my thread wraps in. I'm putting some extra wraps in just behind the eye, and I'm going to bring my rib up the body of the fly. So please guys, if you fish this fly or you have these flies in your box, please let me know how much success, or maybe like me, you've not had any success with them. But I would be interested to know your opinions on the Okey Dokey. I think it's a fly that originated in Scotland, as so many of the best patterns do. But this one's just not worked for me. So I've wittered on. I trapped in my wire. I got a couple of turns in front, and then I was able to twist that away. The next thing then is to come in with your whip finish and just get that finished off. Then you can remove your waste. Okay, so for the front end of this fly, now people use various colours. I've seen these done in like bright chartreuse and also hot orange, black. There seems to be all manner of different variations. I'm using Glow Bright number 5 for this. I'm going to catch in just behind the eye, and I'm going to come back between 4 and 5 millimeters. Once I'm happy that's in place, keeping tension on my floss, I can pull away that waste end, and then I'll just tidy up the front here. And you've got to get 2 or 3 layers of the floss down just to give it that solid colour. I suppose what I can see in this fly is the start of the puddle bug, which has become quite popular now. But as you can see, it's quite thick. It's some people say it's a buzzer imitation. It looks a bit thick to be a buzzer for me, but there you go, each to their own. So again, we'll finish that off. Now I suppose you can build up layers of varnish with this if you're of a mind. What I'm going to use is, I've got some Simplify UV resin here. Now the reason I'm using this rather than my usual poison, which is Solaris, is this is a lot thicker. And I'll be able to work this around the fly with my bobbin needle, which I can locate here. Yeah, sometimes the having the nice thin Solaris resin's excellent. You know, for most purposes actually, that's my go-to resin. But for when you want to add a little bit of bulk and weight, I use the Simplify resin for buzzers and the like. And of course, now this fly. Now I've already noticed that I've filled the eye with the resin. Bad skills there. So I'll just come in with a bit of wire and clear that out before grabbing my torch and curing this off. I might give this another chance actually. The next time I'm out at still water, I might tie one on and just see if it, maybe the passage of 10 years has made me reconsider my opinion. But it's a fly, it's worth having in your box. I know a few boys think it's a great wee alternative when the takes have dried up. It's obviously been fished under the bung quite a lot. I would think that's where it primarily scores. Be having that little bit of weight. And there we go, the Okey Dokey. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and I'll see you all next time.